Alright, today we're going to be replacing a GFCI receptacle. Now the problem that I have is that it turns out either all of my GFCIs blew at the same time or they're all on the same circuit, and I kind of suspect they're all on the same circuit. Now the challenge to a GFCI is that if it's dead and like bad, you have no way of knowing if you've got the breaker turned off or not. So what I'm going to be doing is taking this out very carefully, and then I've got a multimeter here and I'm going to test the actual incoming wires to see if they have voltage. So let me get after that and get it opened up here. Alright. Pull her out of there. And see our contacts in the back. Got two blacks in and two blacks out, or two wires in, two wires out, which tells me this is not the end of the circuit. So let me test each incoming outgoing pair and see what I get. Okay, so as I'm testing, since we've got two incoming outgoings, I'm going to hot on or red on black, white on your neutral, and see what we get here on the multimeter. Nothing. Now we'll check the other two, because I have no idea looking at the circle which one's incoming, which one's outgoing. So we'll do the same thing. Black and white, 120. So this tells me that my circuit as a whole is alive and that just this GFCI outlet is burned. Now I've got two more GFCIs in the house that are acting like they're bad. They won't trip, they won't reset. And so I'm going to go pull each of those out as well and check them and see what they say. Okay, so I went through and I tested the other two receptacles that were dead. Turns out the one in the other bathroom is not a GFCI, it's a regular receptacle, and so I'm pretty sure these outgoing leads from this GFCI go to feed that receptacle, because by code it should be a GFCI unless it's on the circuit with a GFCI. So that would actually be smart contracting for a change, where they would have saved a little bit of money on the construction, put a non-GFCI on a GFCI circuit, so it's okay. So I'm going to replace this one. This receptacle proved it to be dead. I'm going to replace this receptacle, make sure it's working, and then I'll go through and I'll test those other two again to see. Now the other one that's dead, it's outside on the deck. It is a GFCI, and it is on the end of a circuit. It's a terminal. So I don't know if it's on a different breaker altogether or if it's on the end of this circuit. If it is on the end of the circuit, again, it shouldn't need a GFCI, so I think it's probably going to be on a different circuit. But let me get this one slapped back in there, and then I'll run through and I'll test the other two as well. Alright, so we got her all wired up and put back in, and let's just get our probes in here and have a check. 120, we got it. So this one's working, breaker's back on, and now I'll go through and I'll test the other ones. I did notice something interesting. When I went to install this, there's this little yellow label over one set of the leads, and with a warning label on it that says this is to feed additional circuits on the GFCI. If improperly wired, you could cause a problem. So I just thought it was funny because I was explaining to you guys how, you know, that other circuit down the line is part of the same GFCI circuit, so now I'm pretty sure. But let me go test it right now and see if it's on and see if it's working now like it should be. Alright, see, this is not a GFCI. Have a look-see here. 120, we got it. So now we'll just go on down, we'll check that other circuit to see if it's somehow alive now, but like I said, I suspect it's probably on a different circuit, so let me go work on that one. Okay, so we are outside on this same receptacle that tested dead a little while ago. This is the other GFCI that I told you I thought was on a separate receptacle, so we'll give her a test. And it's hot, so it turns out it was part of that same circuit, which, now I'm no electrician, but it makes me wonder if that is the requirement of proper wiring. According to this, here's that little label on this one too. You know, if improperly wired, could cause problems, could cause a failure. So I'm wondering if that's the requirement, is that you can have non-GFCI outlets on a GFCI circuit as long as it's GFCI on both ends. I'm really not sure. I'll have to look that up, but that's kind of how it makes sense to me now. That would ensure that everything in between the two GFCIs is also GFCI protected. So anyway, luckily, I only have to replace one because they're about 20 bucks a piece, so I'll be taking the other one back. And we're done.